Kia ora, I'm Joanne Speechley for KLTV, and today we are talking to the newly appointed Chair of Sport Northland, Chris Biddles. Hello and welcome.
Hello, Joanne. Thank you for the invite.
Now, congratulations on your new role. What is it you hope to achieve during the next 12 months?
Look, we've got a pretty good organisation, and it's in a very good board. So just you could expect more of the same. I think we're actually in 10 days' time got a strategic planning weekend. We've got a new strategic plan due out in June 2015, July 2015. So we'll be working on that. So that's a little bit exciting. In 2 weekends' time, we'll be off to Waitangi. So that'll be a focus for the next few months.
So, as I understand it, you've been actually involved at a local level with Sport Northland since about the 90s?
Yes.
And more recently with the board?
I think probably around 1992, when we formed a local committee. I think I got invited to a one-off meeting, and 10 or 12, 15 years later finished that meeting.
As it goes.
And then got elected to the board in 2000.
So over that more than 2 decades, what have been some highlights for you?
The growth of the organisation and the success of the organisation. I think locally we didn't have a coordinator, and then we got a 50% local coordinator, and then it's grown. You know that with I'm not exactly sure how many people are in the Northern Waira and Odomatea area, but there'll be 3 or 4. So it's grown hugely.
And so, at a local level, actually, you're very involved with the Sportsville project. Now, that's a project of the Kauri Coast Recreation Society?
Yes. We've changed that name. It's Kauri Coast Facilities Society.
Yes, I have seen that as well. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what Sportsville is?
It's a relatively new thing throughout the country, but there's a lot of them springing up right throughout New Zealand, and it's really just a case of getting a lot of sporting groups together in one place, sporting hubs. It is the way of the future. Outside funders are not going to come up with money for individual sports, but if they get together, you've got a much better chance. And in our case, ASB Trust are very supportive. That doesn't mean that we'll be getting money from them, but they are very supportive of the concept, and they're excited about, as we are, what might develop here.
So how many local clubs have you got on board?
We've got 11 stakeholders.
Oh, great.
And they're all very, very supportive. They're in, I think, all are just in the process of signing letters of intent to be part of it. So it's really quite exciting.
And what's the next step for you?
Funding. We've come a long way. It's only the board's only been established for 18 months, I think, and we started when Sport Northland was involved because they were asked to get involved, and they achieved 20,000 from ASB for a facility study, which was a fantastic start because an outside guy came in and examined all the facilities around the place, and he came up with the recommendation that a recreation should be at Selwyn Park, such as the skate park, and all the sporting facilities down at Memorial Park. So that stopped the divide. There was a lot of people had different ideas where they should be. So that was a good start. We got $2,000 from COGS, which was because we didn't have a penny, didn't have any money to buy any stationery, anything. So and then we got 20,000 from lotteries to do a feasibility study, and that feasibility study was published in September. Became a public document, and it's recommended, said that it is feasible. And I think the very important thing with the feasibility study is that it's he's not recommended what we wanted. He's recommended what is needed and what is affordable from, because I think the groups wanted up to 10 courts. He said 6 is fine. So I think that's really good. It's not what we wanted to hear. He hasn't produced something that we might have wanted to hear. He's produced a very valid document.
Yeah.
So the next step is to we need to get KDC on board. They do have 100,000 in their annual plan this year for changing facilities. That won't go a long way.
No.
And if we get them on board, well, we will be applying to both lotteries and ASB in February for some serious funding. We're looking at $2 million to build this. The first stage, which is 6 courts, a changing rooms and toilets, etc., and a small meeting room, office and canteen.
And that part will be based at Memorial
At Memorial Park, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And if there are other people that want to get involved or want to support your plans and your ideas, is there a way for other people to get involved?
Come and see us. I hope that we've already got that message out and that we have got everyone on board that would want to, because we've been pretty public and we consulted very carefully. We had what we call coffee meetings without the coffee with every stakeholder in the early days, and then we've had a number and 2 of our board have met with them again. Just on the board, it's interesting. I think that it is it's not people that are involved heavily in the actual sports, or there's 2 elected by the sports to represent all the clubs and all the stakeholders, and the other 5 are appointed, and they were appointed by Sport Northland appointments panel. Yeah, okay. So they're very independent, and they're just going to go ahead and build what's best for everybody, not what's best for one particular club.
Okay. That's exciting stuff, and I wish you all the best with Sportsville and with your new role at Sport Northland.
Thank you very much, Joanne.
Thank you for coming in today. Yeah. You can keep up to date with developments on the Sportsville project and the Kaipara Lifestyler, and if you do have suggestions about what you'd like to see on future episodes of KLTV, send us an email, info@thelifestyler.co.nz. Ka kite anō.